As you know, there are infectious diseases and chronic ailments. How we see this in the yogic way of seeing it is, infections are an invasion from outside. You have to wage a war against them. For that you need a doctor and medicine. Chronic ailments are something that we manufacture from within. For this, you need awareness, you need yoga, you need observation of what's happening in your system, of your lifestyle, how you sit, how you stand, how you breathe, everything you need to observe. If this distinction was made and we enforced it in every society, then medicine would not have been so expensive. In many ways, with vaccinations and various other things that we have done, largely infectious diseases are very small, isn't it? Today, most of the ailments are chronic, isn't it so? Self-made in a way. Chronic means it's coming from within us. When every cell in this body is geared and, programmed for health, why is it ill health happening? Obviously, we are doing something fundamentally wrong with life. In the yogic system, we are looking at it like this: if you keep this body in total ease, almost every chronic ailment that you have, it will handle by itself if you give that much space to it. Otherwise, if it is not in ease, how is it? It is in dis-ease, so it's a disease. But now, we are treating everything… we think… When I said this about psychological ailments, because you talked about media, the Bangalore media has been after me for last 1.5 years because I just said this: you are fundamentally responsible for your psychological well-being. Just this one sentence. They've been campaigning against me for last 1.5 years, so recently when I went, again it came up in some kind of a conversation. So I said, see, you were saying something more dramatic, but for example, millions of people have died of cardiac problems. Millions and millions have gone through cardiac surgeries. But today, doctors are busy telling everybody, if you don't eat red meat, if you exercise every day, if you do this, this and this, most probably you will not come to my surgery table. And it is so. Millions have not gone there simply because they're maintaining a responsible way of living in some way. So, their argument is that psychological ailments are medical problems. You cannot solve it by your responsibility. I'm saying if you behave irresponsibly, every one of you can go crazy right now. Yes or no? Every one of you can get sick within the next few days if you behave irresponsibly, yes or no? Is it possible or no? So, this should have happened. When modern medicine developed, we got little too overexcited about it. And we thought a doctor is a solution for everything. No, health is your fundamental responsibility. When it crosses a line, you seek some professional help. But daily health must be your business. Keeping yourself healthy must be 100% your business. Suppose you contract something else happened, either because of genetic reasons or congenital reasons or infections, something came, then the doctor should step in. But right now, doctor is there in your life from your childhood till you die. You will not be healthy, you will just be a patient. This is not a good way to go. So I think this distinction has to come. It is beginning to happen slowly. Doctors are looking at more holistic way of treating, but it's still a small movement. I think it should become a much larger movement. Then when that happens, then the expense of being healthy goes down. I think this animosity towards doctors will also go down. But you're just telling the wrong guy, because guru bashing is way bigger than doctor bashing. Endlessly. Just anything and everything that a man can do and cannot do, people accuse me of. So right now, we are… because I Thought some idiot say something, what's the big deal? But it's picked up certain momentum. So, just today morning I was looking at it and we're putting this on our website. All the accusations that are going on for 27 years by, very motivated vested groups which are going on, obviously they're well-funded. So we're putting all those things on our own website, all the accusations and all the realities of what it is, endless things. I must tell you, this will be interesting for medical people. I have stolen over 7 million kidneys till now. You better have yourself checked up, one kidney may be missing right now. Like this, we've destroyed a whole rainforest, nobody knows where that rainforest is. We have killed over… people said, you have killed over 100 elephants. Then I said, see, it's a fact that I don't have a firearm, so I killed them with my bare hands. See, look at me, 100 elephants with my bare hands. In Tamil Nadu, in ancient Tamil culture, a real man means Ayirane konnavane. This means one who has slain 1,000 elephants, he is a real man. I said, I'm getting there. So like this it goes on endlessly. So we are putting this out as slander without substance. Endlessly slander goes on. I don't think they would dare to go against you so much because they may have to come to you. With me, they go take much more liberties.
So, Guru, would you have time for one or two questions?
I'm okay, please.
Anybody want to ask? Yes, Guru.
Where are those young party people? They must ask a question.
Sadhguru, you got a beautiful humor-laced talks. And I feel that humor is a very important element. Do you think that humor has to be there in medical profession as well? Or you have to be serious all the time?
Well, for the patients who come to you with something broken, it's not funny. But you have to be there every day. So, you should not see anything funny about the patient, but you must see something funny about yourself. It'll be nice for you and the patient and for everybody. But if you see something funny in the broken bone, there's a funny bone, even if that is broken, you can't say it's funny. But it's nice if the doctor is little more jovial. Right now he's looking like an undertaker most of the time. Can I tell you a joke about orthopedics? Is it okay? This happened. This was an amputation case. So the doctor did the job, and then after a few hours the patient regained consciousness. Those who conducted the surgery, they were all standing there, looking at the patient with some concern. When he opened his eyes and blinked, they said, we have some good news and some bad news. Which do you want first? He said, really? What is the bad news? Because I already lost a leg, what can be the bad news? More bad news. He said, see, this was a new nurse. We have a blue tag that needs to be put on the leg. I clearly told her it's the right leg, but she came, she always can't figure out what is right and left, so she looked at her wedding ring, this is left, this is right, and she put it on this. So wrong leg, and we amputated the wrong leg. He said, oh my God, you amputated my wrong leg, then what the hell is the good news? He said, the good news is, the gangrene leg is recovering pretty good.
Hello, yes. We were talking about life and death. I would like you to go back to the days when our sages, they will still be present in the body, but will move out into the cosmos and maybe after some travel come back. So, in evolution, have we moved forward or we moved backwards?
You only said it's already a round trip, so…
So it might have been a spiritual trip.
Doesn't matter, it's a round trip, you came to the same point.
Yes.
So, please. So, if these things have gone around quite a bit, somebody is doing astral travel, this is called… this culture is called Gudu vittu Gudu Pai. That means leave this body, go somewhere else and come back. Is such a thing possible, or is it an evolutionary forward step? There is nothing evolutionary or even spiritual about it. It's more of occult nature. This is more practiced in African tribes, particularly the North American tribes, of leaving human body and taking on some other form. This is very prevalent. Even in India, in the occult practices, in certain tantric practices, these things are there. Generally, for lack of vocabulary, in hardcore spiritual process, these things are shunned. These things are seen as circus that you do, that you don't try to display such things. But the very nature of life that you are right now is, the life energies are not only projecting inward, they're also projecting outward. Now, if you want to do certain thing, if, for example, you're a doctor doing constant surgeries, if you know how to make the proportion of this projection, largely I would say, right now looking at this crowd, I would say, in this crowd, on an average, the outward projection is just about 10%, 90% it's inward projected, life energies. Because people are in a self-preservation mode. You will see when people fall in love, that is, they fell in love so badly that they're willing to die for it. You know, these days it's not like that. A young lady asked her lover recently, "Are you willing to die for me as Romeo died for Juliet?" The man said, "My love is of an undying sort." So, if you do something where your involvement is such that your involvement becomes bigger than your survival process, then the life energies naturally project outward. If you're not able to project your life energies outward, you will not do anything in the world which is significant in other people's experience. If you sit here, you can have 10% turned inward, 90% out. If you do this, you will see whatever the hell you do, people go phenomenally impressed. If you are 90% in, 10% out, whatever you may do great things, but still nobody will be impressed. So when you're doing your surgery, even if you can be 50% outwardly projected, it would make a big difference in the way you're doing the same thing. You may be trained, you may anyway do it right, but it'll make a huge difference. This is why always, like this business events that happen in the ashram, they're always asking me this, how Sadhguru? See, because in this… this is 37th year, in this 37 years, at any time in the world, at least anywhere between 250 to 300 inner engineering programs are going on any given day. In this 37 years, not a single program has been abandoned, not a single appointment I have been late to. I've never been late to a single event in this 37 years. And not just me, the whole organization functioning like this. People ask, how? The important thing is, you have to keep your instinct of self-preservation out. There is an instinct of self-preservation, there is a longing to expand. If you hold on to instincts of self-preservation, you build walls around yourself. And these walls of self-preservation are also the walls of self-imprisonment. But if your longing to expand becomes the prime factor of your life, you will see your life energies are more outward projected. Particularly when you're treating your patients, if your life energies are outward projected, you will find phenomenal results with everything that you do. Whatever skills you have, they will multiply. If it's inward projected, it's a drag. No wonder you will be looking forward to the weekend.
Sadhguru, I think is the last question. Sadhguru, are we all manufactured differently? No, can we be Einstein or… I mean, there is a difference between how we are born and what we are capable of. Is it possible that we can… have we be born as iPhone model 1 or iPhone model 2 or iPhone 10?
Well, Albert Einstein that you mentioned, towards the end of his life, when he was asked if he's given a second chance, what would he like to be? He said, I would rather be a plumber than be a physicist. Really. So, can I be an Einstein? Maybe not. Because, as I said earlier, when it comes to body and when it comes to mind, we are all different. No two human beings are equal. When it comes to external activity, no two human beings are equal. What I can do, you cannot do, what you can do, I cannot do, this is the way the world is, and it's wonderful that way. But when it comes to inner possibilities, all of us are equally competent. Now he was talking about being blissful. Can everybody here be equally blissful or absolutely blissful? Yes, 100%. Can everybody here become a great surgeon or a great athlete or great something else in activity? No, it'll never happen, because that's different. So when it comes to physical competence and intellectual competence, we are all different. When it comes to inner dimensions, there is simply no difference. So I'm saying, what is at hand, exploit it first. First become blissful, then we see what the hell you can do. Even if you don't do anything, if you're just blissful, people will need you just for that, isn't it so? Hello? This is a simple thing. Those of you who have good reasons to be miserable, either because of media or these damn bones don't come together or whatever happens, people who find good reasons to be miserable, I'm asking you, if you were given a choice, would you like to live and work with joyful people or miserable people? I want you to please remember, everybody else is expecting the same thing. Thank you very much.